Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman on midweekpolitics.com.
Hey, welcome back to the show. David Pakman here with you. Giving away an iPad in honor of the 5-year anniversary of Midweek Politics. Log on to midweekpolitics.com to find out more about that. You know, I was checking out the latest cable news ratings the other day, Lewis, and Fox News is absolutely blowing people out of the water. It's just not even close. During the day, Fox had just a little over 1 million viewers. The next closest was MSNBC and CNN, both around 350,000 viewers. I mean, it's less than half of those viewers. And in prime time, it's even more unbelievable. Fox had about 1.6 million viewers on a random night last week. And the next closest was MSNBC with 600,000, which is about a third of that. It's pretty amazing. Now, maybe this isn't a surprise, right? I mean, we could think of a number of reasons why this would be.
Right.
The first is that
it's the only network that has a very specific
viewpoint.
Right.
Constituency.
Consistent viewpoint.
Moderate and liberal viewers may be getting split up among all of the other networks, along with some conservatives, right? Whereas on Fox, it's mostly conservatives watching. Now, I have to say, I watch Fox more than any of the others just because I'm curious, what are they covering? How are they covering it? But I would assume I'm probably the exception to the rule, right? I would assume most of the people watching Fox News are not watching it because they're interested in critiquing it. They are watching it because it is preaching to the choir, so to speak.
Right, but at the same time, you have to admit it makes for slightly more interesting television, regardless of whether or not you're critiquing it. It might be a bit more entertaining than...
It's more interesting that they're biased, or the way it's produced is more entertaining?
The way it's produced.
I agree with that. I mean, Fox has very good production value. If you just look at the shows... Attractiveness of the anchors aside, which is absolutely a factor, as we know. The infotainment factor of how Fox News is producing its news certainly is affecting, I think, the ratings. And we would be lying if we said that they don't do a good job with that, would we not?
Definitely.
Now,
it's very well done.
Whether that leaves people better informed, whether it gives people a more honest, fair, and balanced, to quote Fox News themselves, version of the news, I don't know. Probably not.
Right. I mean, just for comparison's sake, sit down. I encourage someone to sit down and watch Fox News for an hour, just about any show. Doesn't really matter. And then watch Democracy Now! For an hour. And, I mean, by comparison, Democracy Now! Will just seem...
In terms of what is being reported?
Just in terms of sheer entertainment value, production value.
Right. So certainly as people flip past the channels, it is much more likely that something going on the screen on Fox News will draw their eye more than something on a number of other channels and programs.
For sure.
Well, does anyone even believe Fox News is fair and balanced at this point? We mentioned last week this $1 million donation to the GOP Governors Association, specifically to elect Republican governors this November. You would think that this would be maybe covered as news on Fox News. You would technically be right, but mostly be wrong in the spirit of the thing. 39 seconds were devoted to this $1 million donation to the Republican Governors Association, and I will play those 39 seconds for you right now. Take a listen.
The parent company of Fox News, News Corp, is responding to criticism from Democrats over the company's donation of $1 million to the Republican Governors Association. The head of the Democratic Governors Association, Nathan Daschle, has requested that Fox News use a disclaimer when covering gubernatorial races. Fox News spokesman Brian Lewis said, quote, "Nathan's stunt has run its course. His 15 minutes are up. Time to leave the stage." And News Corp spokesman Jack Horner says it is, quote, "patently false that a corporate donation would have any bearing on our news gathering activities at Fox News or any other of our properties."
There it is. That is the Fox News coverage of the fact that their parent company, News Corporation, gave $1 million to elect Republicans over the next couple of months. Is that not incredible?
You're asking me if it's incredible
that they're not covering it.
Well, they did cover it.
For 39 seconds. I mean, this is a big story. And you know what? I think a disclaimer makes perfect sense. If you are watching Fox News, it would be important to know when you're watching their coverage of governors' races that they have a horse in the race. Would it not? I mean, if you were to hear as before and after coverage of governors' races on Fox News, by the way, our parent company donated $1 million to get specific candidates elected, to get the Republicans that we're talking about elected. I think the disclaimer makes perfect sense. How could you possibly believe that such a donation would not in any way influence the coverage on the channel? It's very, very difficult to believe how that would be possible, would it not?
Yes, but we know what's going on already. It's no secret.
But that's fine.
You're just concerned about the coverage of the story.
That's absolutely right. It is not full disclosure without something like that. And what's funny is Bill O'Reilly can go on and on and on with
fair and balanced if they don't, at least to an extent, disclose.
Please, fair and balanced is there's nothing fair and balanced about it. That we know. What's funny is Bill O'Reilly can just go on and on with the conspiracy theory about General Electric, which is the parent company of MSNBC, being in cahoots with Obama because they support a green universe and receiving stimulus money for doing business. It makes absolutely it pales in comparison to Fox giving money to elect Republicans. I mean, fair enough. You can make the argument that the Obama administration may look favorably upon GE because they support a green universe. Fair enough. But that does not relate specifically to individual candidates in the way that Fox giving $1 million to the Governors Association does. Now, Media Matters wants to run an ad on Fox News actually touting this $1 million donation, and they want to run it during Bill O'Reilly's show. I don't know whether this is going to happen. I don't know whether they will allow it. But here is the ad. It has been sent around, and here's what it sounds like.
And now, a special message from Fox News, brought to you by Media Matters for America. News Corporation believes in the power of free markets, and the Republican Governors Association's pro-business agenda supports our priorities at this most critical time for our economy. And that's why News Corporation has donated $1 million to oppose Democratic governors this November. Paid for by Media Matters for America.
Okay. Will that run on Fox News?
Of course not.
They will refuse it.
Yeah.
On what basis? Nothing being said is factually untrue. They did make the donation. If
they have the right to refuse any advertiser they wish.
Will that not create even more publicity about the donation?
Well, what do you think would be better for the company? To refuse it and deal with the publicity?
Of refusing
it, or to have it aired to all 1 million plus 1.6 million listeners
daily
at the time?
viewers? I don't know. I don't know what would be worse. What's incredible is that conservatives at this point, if you read a lot of the conservative blogs and publications, they're no longer trying to hide the fact that Fox is the Republican Party. Now they're just doing everything they can to try to defend why that's okay.
I think any hardcore, diehard Fox listener will just
listener,
will just kind of tune out the bad publicity. But if they were to see that advertisement while watching their favorite show,
the effect would be worse.
I think so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I have, the last I checked before we went on the air, I did not find anything confirming whether or not they would run the ad. Midweek Politics is made possible in part by CSR Wire, the corporate social responsibility newswire at csrwire.com, by DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. To find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics, visit midweekpolitics.com.